Hello everyone, this is part 2 of What If Naruto and Hinata moved in together, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist. To see more, comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Approaching the stadium, they saw Tsunade, along with Gaara, the current Kazekage, and the Raikage. Tsunade announced the rules, and they began immediately. The first match was a sound team against a sound team against a sand. Surprisingly, the sand won. The sound nins were completely out. It seemed Orochimaru had no plans for Naruto and Sasuke this time. The second match was a leaf team against a lightning, and the lightning won. The third match was the other leaf team, Naruto and Hinata, against the other lightning team. This fight wasn't much of a challenge. Naruto started with the old faithful Kage Bunshin. 3 of the clones were visible. One, however, was hidden underground. Hinata used Genjutsu to trap one of the members. Hinata wasn't trying to succeed in the Genjutsu, just get him off guard for 1 second. And 1 second was all that Naruto needed. With a kunai, the member was knocked. From there on it was easy. The ninja made a lightning shield which protected him, but Naruto's shadow clone came in from underground and knocked him out. That was the end of that. They had reached the halfway point, 1 lightning, 2 sand, and 2 leaf teams. From here on out, it would be individual matches, one-on-one fights instead of the regular team battles. The next match was between a sand and a leaf. The sand won. The 5th match was between a lightning and a leaf. The lightning ninja lost. The 6th match was between Hinata and the remaining lightning. Hinata crouched down into a fighting stance. Activating her Byakugan, she analyzed the opponent's chakra patterns. She found the opponent was making a shield. This wasn't good. Now she couldn't see what her opponent was going to do. Using normal chakra to cover her Genjutsu trace, she made it look like she was simply attacking with chakra. Once the chakra got close enough, the opponent was about to defend. Big mistake. It was an area Genjutsu, the entire area soon was trapped in it, and the chakra shield dissipated. Now he was trapped in the Genjutsu. Hinata threw a kunai at him, pinning him down, and used the 64-hand hack. He collapsed on the floor. Naruto was waving from the stands. All right, Hinata-chan. WOOO. Hinata's father was there, too. He had a frown on his face, but Hinata didn't notice. She had won. She had won. She gladly accepted AK from Naruto. Good luck, she whispered to him. Naruto nodded, and went off. The final match of this round, Naruto against a sand ninja. Naruto simply rushed this time at his opponent. It turned out his opponent was a puppeteer. It didn't matter. Naruto used a Rasengan and broke the puppet in 2. Then, using his now elevated chakra, Naruto kicked the sand. 1 kick and it was over. Naruto wanted to conserve energy. The final match was between the 2 sand. 1, obviously, lost. The round was over, the lightning shinobis were completely out, 3 sand were left, and 3 leaf ninjas were left. Naruto gulped and prayed he wouldn't have to fight Hinata. The first match was between a leaf and a sand. The sand won. The next was between another leaf and another sand. The sand lost. So far it was even between the 2 countries. The next fight was between Hinata and another puppeteer. Hinata knew Kankuro, and so she understood the concepts. She soon figured out, using her Byakugan, that the puppet was actually fighting, and the real person was inside all wrapped up where the puppet was supposed to be. Trying to trick me. Hinata acted fooled and attacked the puppet. But when she got to close combat, she took out her kunai, chopped off the puppet's right arm, and used the heavenly spin so that the user wasn't protected anymore. The real ninja got the full blow of it, and he was knocked out. The next battle was between Naruto and the remaining sand. Naruto went all out on this one. He ran as fast as he could, disappeared, reappeared from underneath, he ground and knocked the sand out, in much the same way he had done to Neji 3 years ago, only he didn't use shadow clones. 3/4 the test was over, and there was 1 sand, and 3 leaf ninjas left. And Naruto was afraid. He might have to face Hinata. He couldn't bear the thought, he would have to fight the one he loved. He couldn't do it. Calm down, Naruto, he thought to himself. Luckily, the next match was between he and the other leaf. Naruto used his bloodline limit and finished it in one jutsu. He was nervous, he had to not fight Hinata. Hinata had to face the sand, and the sand was eyeing her in a very scary manner. The match began, and the sand disappeared. Hinata activated her Byakugan to find out where he was, but he disappeared. Suddenly, he reappeared and hit her. He had vanished to that 1-degree blind spot her Byakugan. But how was he able to figure out where my blind spot was so quickly? He sees every detail. Usually a person needs around an hour to find out. And that wasn't just luck. Another disappearance. Hinata turned her head and saw him, too late. From underneath the ground, he punched her. Then, he hit her with 5 kunais. A sand using kunais. Something was strange here. Something was not normal. True, it had been done before, nevertheless, it was not normal. He was supposed to be a sand ninja, yet he had a leaf fighting style. It chilled her to the bone. Suddenly, he got her from behind. He was fast. As fast as Lee. Maybe faster. Suddenly he had her on the ground. He walked up to her, and looked her in the eye. She saw red, bloodthirsty eyes. Then he took a kunai and stabbed her in the stomach. Her world went black. Naruto stared at that ninja. He felt it, too. Something was definitely wrong. He was about to get very angry when he remembered the monk's teachings. He calmed down, analyzed it, and decided to investigate further. One thing was for sure, though. He would kill that sand ninja, that much was for sure. Naruto wasn't afraid of the Kyuubi chakra anymore. The merging had been successful, the Kyuubi's chakra was now his own to use at any time he wished. The Kyuubi was now gone, leaving some traits of its behind, but it would no longer bother him. He no longer had the Kyuubi, and Akatsuki could no longer get it. He had a massive amount of chakra, enough to keep him alive for a month on chakra alone, and a bloodline limit, though he didn't know it, which let him access an arsenal of jutsus. But something didn't feel right. He felt he had seen that style before. At least remotely. Naruto jumped down for the final fight. He activated his bloodline limit, and his eyes began glowing again. He stood in a fighting stance, and was ready. As soon as Tsunade said, "Begin," Naruto would show this guy just who he was messing with. Little did Naruto know that, this guy, knew exactly he was messing with. It was Naruto who didn't know. And that would be his downfall, thought the Sand Ninja. Chapter 9, The Second Battle. Naruto looked at the ninja in front of him. He was a bit shorter than he. About 6 feet 0 inches. Staring at the reds of his eyes, Naruto saw the bee thirst. Naruto had seen worse. Instead, he stared deeper into the eye, and his eyes began to glow violently. He had seen those eyes before somewhere. No matter, he was going to give this ninja some bee thirst. You want bee lust. You want monstrosity. I'll give it to you. Naruto stared so that he would see the core of that ninja, and the ninja broke away from the stare, stepped back, and panted. Up in the stands, an old ninja with a hat covering his face looked at the battlefield curiously. Rush, he thought curiously. Then this should be more fun than I thought. He glanced sideways to a man in an Anbu mask. The man pretended to pick up something, but in the middle, there was an unmistakable nod. Naruto's eyes now began to glow a flickering silver. Take all your rage, all your emotions, and it. Naruto calmed down, and his eyes glowed a pure silver. Analyze the field, maximize your efforts, and protect your loved ones. If they are already dead, then, calmly, coolly, without showing emotion to cloud your judgment and fighting capability, him. Naruto's eyes began shining brightly now, and the whole stadium was wondering what that was. The Uzumakis are said to be the masters of seals and jutsus. Their bloodline limit allows them that. And from the dawn of man they were. Kisame growled. Indeed. They have 3 stages of it. The first allows them to detect any jutsu or seal at a single glance. The second goes even further, know how it's used, how to use it in battle, its strengths, and its weaknesses. It's like a deciphering code. That is why they can make their own jutsus and seals effectively. The second takes over with experience. Once you have the second, the first combines into it, and only the second will show. Itachi stated calmly. Yes. Sasori growled, grabbing the scroll. They can memorize it at a single glance. And the third masters the jutsus. They can use any jutsu they see with expert skill, though it is their first time. he said in a deep voice. All in a single glance. Toby said, "That's kinda dangerous, isn't it?" "Yeah." Deodara said. They all remained silent. "What? Shut up, Deodara," Itachi said emotionlessly. "It seems our opponent will be more challenging than we thought. But he's worth it. After all, the QB is a great creature." Sasori said. "Should we tell him?" Kisame asked. They all shook their heads immediately. Itachi silently looked outside. The QB is no more. He thought. "Thank you, Naruto-kun. Now, my chance is here." And on his lips, may have been, only a flicker, but nevertheless a resemblance to a smile. Naruto used cage bunshin. The bunshins were underground. Or at least most of them were. Others were hanged into pebbles, and some were shadows. The ninja quickly analyzed it and silently made some signs. Naruto's eyes analyzed it. Gruden no Jutsu, advanced fire technique, powerful, takes little chakra, but easy to evade. Naruto frowned. A fire jutsu. The last person who used that was Sasuke. Naruto simply sidestepped it, the large beam of fire. But right after it passed, the ninja was above making a punch. Naruto knew this ninja was at least a chunin. The direct attack was not his plan. Naruto disappeared and reappeared at the end of the stadium. The ninja simply dusted himself and said in a B voice, "Let's not hold back anymore, shall we?" Naruto didn't seem to be moved. Instead, his eyes began glowing more powerfully. The ninja smiled. "I've been looking forward to this. 3 years of training, Uzumaki Naruto. Don't disappoint me." Naruto simply stood there. "I'll take that as a yes," the ninja stated, and disappeared. There was a note. It said, "Meet me at the statues. We can't fight here properly." Naruto burned the note with pure chakra and disappeared. Naruto stood on the same statue where he stood when he fought Sasuke. The ninja there stood on the opposite statue with his back turned to Naruto. Turning around, Naruto saw it was none other than Sasuke himself. Naruto nodded. Everything fit into piece. The red eyes, the fire jutsus, the previous stance he had seen, the same attitude and voice. It all fit now. Why would Orochimaru make Sasuke a sound nin? It would be so obvious. Of course it was Sasuke. This was his second fight with Sasuke. And he would not have mercy this time. He would bring Sasuke back to Konoha. And Team 7 would be won again. For sure. But he would give Sasuke the beating of his life. He thought of Hinata, and his determination soared. "You must place mental barriers," the monk had said. "This way, you restrict yourself from giving full potential. Then, when you manage to break it, you'll be breaking mental restrictions. The brain is powerful, it can fool you, and it can fool itself. So in a real fight, when I'm giving it all, and I think I can't do it, my brain will think it's just another mental barrier. Even though all mental barriers are gone. And I'll flare and my powers will increase." The monk had nodded. "Also, it is useful for controlling your emotions, it is good to hide your full potential. And it is good for meditation." Naruto focused on his mental barriers, and they busted open under his force. His chakra now flared. His body was roaring to get at his opponent. He wasn't going to deny himself that opportunity. Naruto jumped at Sasuke with incredible speed, punched. Sasuke ducked, kicked Naruto. Naruto balanced his body on Sasuke's leg and made a kick, only to find Sasuke dodge it. Naruto jumped off Sasuke. This sequence happened in a little less than a second. Both were going at incredible speeds. Sasuke may have activated his curse seal. Naruto didn't know anymore. He was focused on bringing Sasuke back. And to do that, he would have to beat the hell out Sasuke. Naruto used various jutsus, but Sasuke dodged them. Naruto closed his eyes. He would have to use the scroll's jutsus. It was only meant to be used after he had fully awoken his meditation abilities, but Naruto decided he had not chance. Naruto made some signs, and thought, Firestorm Torrent Jutsu. A huge hurricane of fire spread out to get to Sasuke. Naruto knew he would dodge, one way or another. But Sasuke simply activated the next level of the curse seal and flew away. It was then that Naruto jumped at him, with in his hand nothing but the very same technique that Sasuke used against him. Naruto would knock him out. Maybe even bring him close to death. But he wouldn't kill Sasuke. Naruto jumped towards him with a Chidori in his hand. But when Naruto reached Sasuke, it was only a log. A replacement jutsu. Naruto thought as he landed on the ground, only to disappear. Naruto had brought his previous shadow clones with him, and one had found him. His shadow clone dodged a punch and threw a kunai at Sasuke. Sasuke charged a jutsu and silently thought lightning thrust jutsu. A huge fist of lightning came at the clone when 5 Narutos came from the side each with a Rasengan in hand. They collided, but Sasuke used a lightning sphere imprisonment jutsu to make a sphere of lightning which blocked all the hits. Releasing the sphere, Sasuke found an unconscious Naruto on the ground. Sasuke didn't hesitate. He took out a kunai and brought it down, only to find that body puff away. I knew it wasn't over yet, Sasuke said, almost panicking as he turned around. In his face, Naruto landed a level 5 Rasengan, a small spear of chakra which sent him flying 50 feet. Sasuke landed at the head of the statue he previously fought on. Naruto used a disintegration jutsu to crumble some stone, forcing Sasuke into the ravine. Naruto jumped after him only to find Sasuke disappearing. Naruto analyzed it as a body flicker, meaning Sasuke couldn't be too far away. Out of the water, Sasuke jumped at him only to find a clone. Sasuke was on top of the statue head searching. It was then that a shadow clone grabbed him and used a shadow bind on him. Naruto instantly reappeared in front of Sasuke with a Rasengan in his hand and forced it down. Suddenly, the bind was broken and Sasuke kicked Naruto's arm, knocking the Rasengan a tad bit above the target, right into his heart. Or so he thought. A level 6 Rasengan, a tiny drill-like point of energy and a rather shocking state, would rammed into Sasuke's heart, and Sasuke's body heart down would be almost instantly paralyzed. Naruto analyzed he would have about 5 minutes of life left. Suddenly, a vortex surrounded Sasuke and he disappeared, only to reappear in a man's arms. The man smiled. It was Kabuto. Next to him Orochimaru came. They disappeared with Sasuke. Orochimaru had saved Sasuke before the blow had connected. Naruto sighed. I can't believe it. But, thank you. Naruto knew that Sasuke would have D if that blow had connected. Naruto knew it was pointless to tell where they went. They went away with a seal, not with a jutsu, and so their distance was unlimited. Tiredly, Naruto puffed back to Konoha. But what really scared him was that he had lost control of his emotions, just for about 3 minutes before he activated Rush, but he had lost control nevertheless. He sighed, realized the Kyuubi was no longer alive. But he still could have done many foolish things. He fought his tears and walked into the stadium. Tsunade instantly came to him and pinned him to a wall. Where the hell were you? The CHUUNIN exams had to be cancelled because of you. It didn't matter anyways because that boy was. What do you mean it didn't matter? The CHUUNIN exams were crucial to Konoha's well-being. You better start explaining, or I'm gonna kick your ass. Naruto sighed. It didn't matter because that boy was O. What the hell do you mean it doesn't matter? The Chunin exams wouldn't have counted anyways because. What the hell do you mean the CHUUNIN exams wouldn't have counted? That was it. Naruto could understand that Tsunade was embarrassed in front of 2 other cages. The Chunin exams were interrupted, and she still had a hell of a lot of work that was now postponed because she had to keep things in order, but Naruto was pissed. Shut up, woman, and let me talk, he said, scaring her. The damn exam wouldn't have counted for F because the boy was SASUKE and Kabuto and OROCHIMARU the bastard were there. So F, shut up, will you? You're not the only one with work here, okay? He rubbed his temples and calmed down. Do you really think I'm so irresponsible that I had no idea of the situation? Did you really think I just rushed into fighting without realizing that there were 2 cages? Did you really think I didn't care about the village? He left her and walked off to Gaara. Gaara-san. Naruto sighed. Naruto-kun. What happened? I'll explain it to all the cages and everyone at once. He called some of the Anbu, the Junin senseis, Jiraiya, and the cages. That sand ninja was a man named Uchiha Sasuke. Gaara's eyes widened. Yes, the very same Uchiha Sasuke that Gaara-san here fought during the Chunin exams 3 years ago. He was a member of my genin team. Naturally, he and I share any experiences, and I know his fighting style. Or at least, how he used to fight. Anyways, when I saw Sharingan, fire jutsus, his style, and heard his voice, I was sure it was him. So, I left to make sure to knock him out before Orochimaru and his right-hand man Kabuto could find us. Sasuke had left the village 3 years prior to this in order to get stronger. I wanted to bring him back, and so I left immediately to defeat him before Orochimaru could get him. You all know Orochimaru, correct? They all nodded. Well, he wanted Sasuke's body, for the Sharingan of course. If we got Sasuke, we would have gotten a chance to get Orochimaru, as he would have come for Sasuke, and we could have had a battle with him then with all our forces instead of randomly searching and hoping, and deal severe D to the sound. After all, he leads it, and with him out of the way, war would have been out of the way. I weighed this against 2 hours of anxiety, and decided to take it. Please, forgive me for any trouble I might have caused. The Raikage spoke now. You have acted like a true leader, thinking about others before yourself. I suggest we all have an alliance now and deal with the sound before their power grows any further. I will be honored to help against Orochimaru. Gaara said, agreeing. And I'm sure the Leaf would love your alliance. Naruto said, looking at his 2 senseis. They both nodded vigorously. Then it's settled. Tsunade now came. Yes, and if you'll excuse me, I have to go home. And miss battle plans. The Raikage now spoke up. Naruto smiled. Who needs me when there are 10 Anbu, 4 Junin, 2 Sennin, and 3 cages here? Forgive me, Naruto said and disappeared. Spoken much like Sarutobi, the Raikage said. You seem to like him, Raikage-sama. Tsunade said smiling. The cage shrugged. What can I say? He seems very much like his father. The Hokage nodded, but in her heart, she felt remorse beyond words. To her, Naruto was her son. Her only son, and probably the only one she would ever have, despite the B relations. Truly, Tsunade felt like fainting when Naruto ran away. She nearly had a heart attack, and the memories of her loved one, Dan, and of her brother came flooding back to her. Naturally, when Naruto came back, she was happy, worried, pissed, annoyed, and scared. All of the emotions mixed together resulted in just plain out yelling. She sighed, and thought, I'll have to deal with him later. At least he's safe now. Naruto rushed to the hospital. It seemed Hinata had been healed by Tsunade herself and was fine. She was already out of the hospital back at his house resting, doctor's note, and as a rule of thumb, when Tsunade says you should rest, you better get your ass in the bed, or else. Naruto sighed audibly with relief and decided he needed to be alone. Now that everything was taken care of, why bother going home? He ate some ramen and lied down underneath a tree, closed his eyes, and thought about what just happened. He had failed a second time. Naruto would have brought Sasuke back. But Orochimaru had come. And Naruto had failed. Team 7 seemed like a distant thing in the past. Naruto reached for that image in his mind, but the more he reached, the more it seemed to slip out of his grasp. He set his mental barriers again, feeling tears in his eyes. I won't cry. I won't cry. I won't cry. I won't cry. Suddenly, a voice said, I know you won't cry. Naruto looked up with teary eyes to see Hinata. Hinata-chan. I was just. But there was no use in lying to Hinata. Hinata sat him down next to her, placed the back side of his head on her shoulder, hugged him, and comforted him for a while. She and repeated, it's okay. Finally, after he had calmed down, she said, now what happened? She unconsciously began playing with his blonde, red hair and it. Naruto didn't mind. In fact, he loved it. It soothed him. Naruto began to retell the story. And sir, I was really mad. Mad that he hurt you, mad that you had to go away from me. Mad at everything. I calmed down and focused on a technique called rush. So I went at him. I saw his red thirsty eyes, but I was unmoved. My anger was 10 times greater than his thirst, and I showed it to him. I scared the hell out of him, too. We exchanged a few blows. And he used a fire jutsu. And then, he disappeared. Leaving a knot behind. Next he repeated the explanation he gave to the Hokages, and then told her exactly what had happened between him and Sasuke. I failed. I'm a failure. Not once, but twice. I promised I would bring him back. But no matter how strong I get, how good I get, no matter what I do, I failed, he said, repeating it like a mantra. Inside Hinata's heart, she felt anger at Sasuke. It was something she had felt for the first time in her life. Sasuke was causing Naruto so much pain, she hated him with all her heart for it. No, no, you're not a failure. I am. No, you're not. Say it. Naruto shook his head. Hinata grabbed him and kissed him with all her heart. Then, wiping his tears, she said, "You're not a failure. You're telling me I'm so pathetic that I'm in love with a failure. You're Uzumaki Naruto, the future Hokage. Remember it." She quoted his past lines from when he was a kid and giggled. "You were so cute back then." At this, Naruto couldn't help but smile. "And I'm not now. Hinata K. Now, you're handsome. No longer cute." Naruto made a pouting face. "Or, I wanted to be cute." And he smiled. "Naruto-kun, can you please tell me what happened during the 3 years of your training? I would like to know. I want to know you better." Naruto thought about the rules. Then he remembered he had already told her about Rush. In fact, he had told her a lot. He remembered the exception: he could tell his lover, actually, his wife, about it. Naruto frowned. Was Hinata his wife? No, of course not. Would she be? He hoped so. And he told her the rule. Hinata smiled. "Naruto-kun, do you want me to be your wife?" Well, yes, he said, embarrassed. "I have always wanted to be your wife. It's only happened in my dreams. And I would love to make it a reality." Naruto thought this was good enough. He loved her, and although he hadn't asked her the question, he figured it was good enough. Answer: he began to relate his past incidents at the monastery. Flashback. Naruto sat down in the meditating position. Try to think of nothing. Try to think of nothing. Damn it. How the hell am I supposed to think of nothing? I'm thinking right now. Nani? Whack. You are not meditating properly, Naruto-kun. R said. Naruto cursed under his breath. How the hell would he know what I'm thinking? Whack. I would know you're thinking because you're not meditating. I hate this guy. Naruto decided to actually try harder this time. Naruto concentrated on nothing but what his body felt. His body felt the floor, his skin felt the clothes on him, and he felt hot air around him. Whack. Damn it. How could I fall asleep? It was time to begin the first day of classes. Naruto walked up to the old monk. "Naruto, your sensei has asked me to train you in the 6 courses we provide. Each course is based on a country. Naturally, the courses are. But there are only 5 countries. The monk remained silent. "Why aren't you answering?" "Well, I felt since you believe you are so important that you can interrupt me before I explain, you must know more than I. So, why should I explain something you already know? That would only bore you, your highness." Naruto hung his head. It was another way for saying, "Shut the hell up and wait till I'm done." "Sorry." No reply. "Sorry, sensei." Anyways, there is water, stone, fire, sand, and lightning. Stone is calm and stable. This course specializes in defense. Sand provides a great defense, as well as a good trap for enemies. Naturally, this course is a higher class of the same defense. You will learn absolute defenses in this class. Fire proves to be dangerous. It spreads quickly and consumes all in its way. This is a basic offense course. Lightning is even more dangerous as it not only causes fire, it is more powerful. This is an advanced offense course where we will talk about bloodline limits as well as unavoidables. Naruto opened his mouth to ask what were unavoidables, but remembering his last interruption, he decided to keep quiet. Water is cool and refreshing. It is like chakra. In this class we will talk about chakra control as well as chakra efficiency. The 6th course is something we offer by ourselves. It is based on the way. It is the way of the monks. We practice meditation, virtues, and discipline. Any questions? Yes, sensei. How do you meditate? That is something that should not be taught, only learned. If we teach you, then you will not learn by yourself to focus. Naruto groaned. Yes, sensei. With that, Naruto began his classes. He actually got no sleep whatsoever. The classes were divided into 4-hour-long classes, taking up all 24 hours of the day. Well, if I don't sleep, how am I supposed to be ready for the next day? Meditation actually gives 3 times the amount of energy and calmness than sleep does. If you learn to meditate, 4 hours of deep meditation will keep you running for about 2 days. Great. Naruto sighed. I hate this place. What? I get this for food. Don't you guys have ramen or anything? Well, since you don't like it, you can just skip your one meal in a month. In a month, the monk nodded. These beans provide an immense amount of energy. They'll keep you running for a month. I take it back. I'll eat them. Good. You have 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Well, actually, 4 minutes 32 seconds and counting. No wonder JIRAIYA said near-death situations. This is dude. I'm not gonna last in this place. The classes proved to be rather hard as well. 4 hours of non-stop training for every class. By the end of the day, when it was time for meditation, Naruto would oftentimes simply fall to the ground asleep. He would wake up with broken bones 3 seconds later. Naruto was indeed progressing in his classes, but at this pace it would take about 10 years to finish the classes. Naruto had 3. It was only 4 months later that he actually got the hang of meditation. He had a rubber band on his hand. All that did was focus on the rubber band. He was awake, but thinking about nothing but how his skin felt when the rubber band touched him. It brought him a new level of consciousness. Soon, he could let go of that idea, too, and think of absolutely nothing. He remained like that for 4 hours, without having whack him once. At the end of it, said, "All right. Time to go to the next course. I don't want to. Meditating is so cool. I mean, I can finally do it. I feel so energetic. I'm not even tired. Man, this totally rocks." Raised an eyebrow. At first you didn't even want to meditate. All you wanted was sleep. Now, you don't want to even train. All you want to do is meditate. Well, that's 'cause I can actually do it now. Did you know meditation brings in new powers? This naturally perked up Naruto's interest. What do you mean? Well, turned his back to him. When you train, you'll see what you can do now. But I suppose you can skip training. Turning around, he saw a small Naruto running off in the distance to his next class. Chuckled. You're a funny guy, Naruto. You're a funny guy. Indeed, had not been lying. Naruto was now aware of every movement, no matter how small, he or his opponent in sparring made. He was perfectly aware of his surroundings, and all his senses were incredibly sharp. Naruto soon became curious as to what new powers would come with further meditation. His classes were going well now, too. In the water course, he had to do many exercises similar to the tree climbing exercise. Only they were much harder. He had to do rock climbing, walking across a waterfall. By pushing his chakra in the opposite direction he could stay in the same place, but Naruto had to lunge an enormous amount of chakra to actually move, and many more. In his offense classes, Naruto now had enough energy to make series of attacks. He learned many sequences and learned to string them together to make strong, unwavering attacks. In his defense classes, he learned about proper taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu defense. Although he couldn't use genjutsu to a great degree, using chakra he could still defend against it. He also learned about absolute defenses, and that they actually had weaknesses. He learned to make up his own absolute defenses, and how to break others. But through and through in his classes, what really changed him was that he had to be humble, respectful, and virtuous, yet determined to win at the same time. Naruto, by the end, had changed completely. End flashback. But Naruto-kun, you said there were 7 courses. The two had moved the conversation to his house. Naruto chuckled. Yup. Say, Hinata. Yes, Naruto-kun. Can I talk to you about this tomorrow? Of course, Naruto-kun. Her. Good night. Good night. Jiraiya now appeared. So, you told her? Yes, but I haven't come to the QB yet. Or the 7th course. Jiraiya glared at him. Hinata lied down in bed. Suddenly, a question came to her. Why does Naruto get all this special training? I don't understand. His sensei could have taught him this. I mean, clearly Jiraiya-sama was a graduate, and from what Naruto said, graduates can teach the way. Jiraiya-sama could have gotten permission, come back to Konoha, and then taught Naruto-kun. Why did they keep him away for 3 years? Was it to protect Naruto-kun? Hinata wondered about this. Soon she got scared. Why would Naruto-kun need to be protected? Who's after him? She quietly opened her door. You haven't told her. You're in love with her. What the hell were you thinking? Do you even realize that this is important? She's in love with you and you can't trust her this much. Instead of telling her the crap about your training, you should have told her this. Sensei, I know. That's why I wanted to talk to you. I told her I'd finish up the story tomorrow. I don't know. What if she? I don't. She'll. You and I both know she'd approve. You love her yet you don't trust her this much. I cannot believe you are my student. I am ashamed. Naruto's restraint broke right there. Well, he caught his tongue. I can't lose control again. He was about to say, well, what would you know? You're just a pervert. But he knew if he said that, it would be over for him. Though Jiraiya acted like a pervert, he actually had a whole different side of his life. And if he, Jiraiya's student, said this, it was over for him. They heard a door and they felt chakra activate. You didn't make the sound barrier, did you? Jiraiya said in a low voice. I thought you did, Naruto said frantically. Sort this one out for yourself. You've screwed up big time, Naruto, and he disappeared. He's right. Naruto traced the chakra to the forest. What the hell is she doing there? Naruto quickly followed. She was outside the forest, running to her house. Oh no, she can't be. Naruto ran after her as fast as he could. He soon caught up to her. Hinata, wait. Tears were streaming in her eyes. Then, she tripped. Thank God. Naruto picked her up and used a jutsu to puff both of them to the forest. Covered with tears, she shook her head, threw his arm off of her, and attempted to run away. But Naruto caught her arm and brought her towards him. He sat down, and sat her down on his lap. Wrapping his arms around her waist, he said, I'm sorry. I was going to tell you tomorrow. It's okay, Naruto-kun. I know, you don't trust me, and I don't deserve to be your lover. Goodbye, Naruto-kun. She wanted to get away from him, but he didn't let her. Hinata, please, he pulled her closer to him and I love you. I promised I'd always be with you, remember? That's our ninja way. Well, I no longer hold you responsible for your promise. Hinata, please, just let me explain. After my explanation, if you want to go back to your house, become a branch member, or leave me, I don't mind. But please, just listen to me. At this, more tears came, but she nodded. He hugged her tightly. Thank you. He whispered to her ear. The reason I didn't tell you the full story, was because if you knew. I thought you would hate me, and leave me. She turned and faced him, crying even more. Naruto, how could you believe that? Do you have so little faith in me? So small an amount of trust to believe I would leave you? That's what most of them say before they hear it. Hinata, do you remember the story of the Kyuubi? She nodded and hugged him, keeping her head next to his. The Kyuubi, the nine-tails fox, attacked the village 16 years ago. The Yondaime his life and it. Yeah, well, that's not completely true. The Yondaime did sacrifice his life to save the village. But the fox didn't. It was sealed away. The day I was born. Hinata's eyes widened. She was understanding now where this was going. The Yondaime needed a container to seal away the Kyuubi in. And, it was me. I have the Kyuubi. I am the Kyuubi. She sobbed at this and hugged him even tighter. Oh, Naruto, you're not the Kyuubi. You're so kind. You are Naruto Uzumaki. I love you. Yes, but, that's not all of it. She looked at him, eyes wide, wondering how much worse it could get. The monks told me, the seal was weakening. So, I went to an eastern monastery to do a transfer funin jutsu. It doesn't the Kyuubi, but it transfers it to a different dimension. Then, I get all of its abilities. Its chakra, its red hair, permanent whiskers, aggressiveness. So now, disregarding what I was before. Now, the Kyuubi is a part of me. I am the Kyuubi, at least partly. Hinata looked at him, he was a blurry image. Wiping her eyes, she saw the tips of his hair red. She saw whiskers as well as sharp teeth. She fell into him and hugged him as tight as she could. No, 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 no. She sobbed for him. I'm sorry, Hinata. I enjoyed all the time we spent together. Naruto wanted to stand up, but Hinata kept hugging him. I refuse to not love you. You showed me my strength. You showed me myself for the first time. You gave me hope, courage, and the will to stand up to my father. You brightened my life. I will always love you. She kept sobbing for him. CK. If only I knew. All the time. They hated you so much. I could have been there for you. I could have helped you. I'm so sorry, Naruto-kun. Naruto's happiness soared. He did have Hinata. Not only that, she loved him so much she was sad that she couldn't help him before. Naruto cupped her face, looked at her, and said, "You're with me now, and you've helped me now. I love you, and I always will." Back at his house, he explained the seventh course, too. As a special treat for her, he made dinner. Surprisingly, it wasn't ramen. Instead, it was her favorite, sushi. Naruto sat next to her on the dinner table and put an arm around her. "So, how is it?" "Shike him. I'll take that as good." "Shike him again." "It's great then." "All right." She nodded. "Hey." Naruto walked up to the Hokage glumly. "Hey." The old lady replied. "I'm sorry." The next thing he knew he was in a great hug with Tsunade. "I'm so sorry, Naruto. It's just. You're my son. Despite B relations, I believe you are my son. And, just the thought that you had gone off by yourself to fight Sasuke. Possibly with Orochimaru there. I thought you would have D." Naruto smiled. "So, what now? I'm supposed to mom now." Shike again and hugged him tightly. "Mom. Suffocating, can't breathe. Sorry." Tsunade quickly let him go. "Naruto, I wanted to make it up to you. Jiraiya has told me about your Kyuubi situation. So, I believe it is safe for you to go after Sasuke." She nodded. "Thank you so much. Be careful. There's 3 months left before the ritual can be performed." Naruto nodded. "So who's in my team?" "I've decided a 5-man team might be better for safety's sake. It's gonna be you, Kakashi, Sakura, Hinata, and Tenten." Naruto remained quiet about Hinata. He didn't care, he was just happy she could go with him. But Tenten. What about Tenten's team? Aren't they busy? They're not operating anyways. Kurenai's with Guy and Asuma on a mission, Neji's busy with family matters, and Lee is in the hospital recovering from a mission. Anyways, long story short, everyone else is busy. Besides, I know about the little love story between you and Hinata." She smiled. Naruto blushed. "That has nothing to do with Tenten. Relax. She's a great girl, and I approve. Go get her." Tsunade smiled. "Thanks, Mom." Naruto was still getting used to calling Aba-chan Mom, but, hey, he loved having a family. Naruto ran off. "Naruto," Jiraiya said. "Yes. Listen. I have to tell you this now that you've got this mission ahead of you. You have an advanced bloodline limit." Answer. Jiraiya explained to him everything about Naruto's bloodline limit. "Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Would it have made a difference? You used it anyways." "I suppose not." Naruto shrugged it off. "There's 3 stages. You're about to get the 3rd stage. The first is recognizing any jutsu. The second is pinpointing its weaknesses and strengths. The third allows you to master it. That means all those scrolls." Jiraiya nodded. "Yes, you will be able to master every jutsu you memorized on those scrolls. And because of your bloodline limit, you memorized everyone. Meaning, I'll be able to master every single one in just one usage of it." Jiraiya nodded. "Now you see how powerful it is. Not only that, but when you've reached the 3rd stage, your eyes don't change. Meaning your opponents won't know when you're using it and when you're not." Naruto smiled. "Awesome. Yes, well, that also brings in problems. You have one of the most powerful advanced bloodline limits. And Orochimaru saw this at the Chunin exam. Meaning, he'll be after my body." Naruto finished. Jiraiya nodded. "Now you understand the seriousness of this. You have to unlock the 3rd stage, or you'll get defeated. And that'll be the end of you as we know." Naruto nodded. Back at the training grounds, Kakashi, Tenten, Sakura, and Hinata were waiting. Kakashi was reading his book, Hinata was simply looking around, and Sakura and Tenten were whispering to each other. Naruto finally came. "You're late," Sakura yelled. "Sorry, I got lost daydreaming about your beauty." Sakura blushed, mumbled, "Shut up," and kept quiet after that. "Maybe I should try that, Naruto," Kakashi said. Hinata and Tenten giggled. "K guys, I'm sure we all know the specs of the mission, correct?" "Yes, Sensei," they all said. "Good. So, we'll revise a good plan once we're near the Fire Country's border. Right now, I need to know how much you've improved. So, For the next 3 days, it'll be you, me, and training. They all nodded. Okay then. First training portion will be to have you face each other. So, we'll have a little tournament. Naruto will face Sakura, and Hinata will face Tenten. All right. Kakashi was grinning underneath his mask. He was hoping to destroy some love and get Naruto and Hinata to fight. Yes, he was evil. All right, let's go. Naruto. About the last fight. I was. Hey, it's okay. I know, you were too jealous of my outrageous looks, right? Naruto grinned. Naruto. I'm trying to. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue. I was just a little bit jealous of you having grown so strong. I guess I wanted to pound you back to being an idiot. I'm sorry. No problem. But shall we get the rematch on? I'm sure you want to get even, as I want to nail you 2-0. You bet, she grinned. Naruto had a feeling he would like this fight more, the attitude of both were better, and he would hold back this time. You ready, Hinata? Hinata was panicking. Tenten had been her advisor for quite a bit, helping her get stronger. It was like facing Kurine-sensei. Impossible to win. Why yes. It sure don't sound like it. Hinata. Naruto called. Come on. Have some confidence. You can do it. Hinata decided to try for his sake, but she felt he didn't understand. She was so much better than Hinata. How could she win against Tenten? It was like Naruto winning against Kakashi-sensei. Oh okay, she said unsurely. Naruto walked up to her. You win, and you get AK. Hinata nodded solemnly. Oh, and here's some confidence for ya, and Hike. Now go and kick ass. Hinata smiled. You don't understand. There's no hope. But for you, I will try anyways. Hinata quickly took out her kunai. Now that's more like it. Tenten said. Guys, you're getting way too revved up. This is just a sparring session. Don't go too hard, please. All of them groaned. All right fine. It's probably better anyways, cause I'll get to see your full potential. He chuckled to himself. How about we make things interesting? The winner will face me tomorrow. Okay. They were all thrilled. His fight with Sakura began. Naruto's agility had increased tremendously, as had his jutsu and chakra power. However, his raw strength was rather unchanged, or barely gotten better. He would use taijutsu techniques which required little effort but caused deadly damage. He instantly made a shadow clone, which Sakura fortunately missed to see, and substituted the shadow clone for himself. Instantly, the shadow clone was caught in a genjutsu. The real Naruto came behind Sakura and punched, but Naruto simply went through her. She used 2 genjutsus to fool me. An area trap, of course. How could I be so careless? Crap. Too late. Naruto was caught in Sakura's hit, but it didn't mean he didn't have an absolute defense up his sleeve. As soon as she hit him, the exact same force rebounded back to her, knocking her back 40 feet. Kakashi was watching with his Sharingan out. Is that? Now way. Temptation. It's a technique which you use to make your opponents attack you. By powering chakra to the exact spot, only, this chakra is charged with intensity. Then, when the opponent attacks you, you let it go. Chakra doesn't move on its own. So, when the opponent hits you, she actually hits the chakra. But it's been charged in the opposite direction. So, using the opponent's energy, and the direction of the charge, whatever it may be, it goes right back at the enemy. But to be able to charge it such a high degree so quickly. It's an absolute defense which requires a lot of chakra, but every absolute defense does. And Naruto has more than enough chakra. So it naturally gives him the advantage. And Naruto uses it to give it back to the enemy instead of plain old deflection. Smart. What the hell? Sakura thought. I thought I got him. Naruto's face was emotionless. He was used to getting serious during missions. And as far as he was concerned, this was a mission. Naruto instantly used Shadow Warp Jutsu to warp right into Sakura's shadow. Emerging, he was about to kick her when she noticed and backed away from him. Here already? Wow, you must be eager. Naruto didn't say anything. Instead, he made shadow clones surrounding her. Instantly, he jumped at her. Naruto shook his head. They weren't fully charged. It would have been fatal if they were. I realized that, but wouldn't one have been enough? Naruto shrugged. So I like K when I'm fooling around. She'll wake up in half an hour anyways. Kakashi sighed and moved on to Tenten and Hinata's fight, as did Naruto. Hinata activated her bloodline limit. However, Tenten had simply taken out a kunai and thrown it. Hinata stepped back and dodged it. However, she had stepped into a trap. 4 more kunais were thrown right at her. She performed the heavenly spin, targeted at a rushing Tenten, and not only deflected the kunais but had hurt Tenten, or so she had thought. Landing, she had found another trap which did not actually hurt her, directly. The trap set off 3 other traps which sent various weapons of sorts at Hinata. Hinata performed the heavenly spin again, but it only lasts for so long. Hinata ended up beaten and bruised. Kakashi was amazed. His Sharingan caught every detail, and he was surprised with the complexity of it. In fact, less than a quarter of the entire trap had been revealed, but Kakashi would save it and let Naruto be surprised. He ordered a 1-hour break time for the 4 to recover. Naruto went to Hinata and treated her. "You okay?" he said, placing a hand on her cheek. Hinata nodded and sighed. "Good job, you fought well." And Hinata looked at him, tiredly, and smiled. Naruto set her on her lap as she fell asleep. Naruto had missed over half their fight, and so he figured Hinata had exhausted herself when he wasn't watching. If only he knew what a fight she had put up. Soon Tenten and Sakura joined him, and the 3 talked. "Naruto, why are you having Hinata on your lap?" Naruto didn't have to hide it. Because I love her," he continued to stroke her hair. Finally, Tenten shouted, "Man, she's been crushing on you since God knows when. It's about time." Naruto chuckled, but Sakura agreed with Tenten. "It's true, Naruto. Even at the academy, she always looked up to you." Naruto pulled Hinata closer to him protectively and placed her head on his shoulder. Looking down at her, he said, "Yeah. I was an idiot not to realize it before. Anyways, isn't an hour up? I think it's time Tenten kicked my butt, ne? You got that right, Naruto." Tenten grinned. "Overconfidence. Hinata," he said softly and lovingly. "Hinata, wake up." Hinata opened her eyes, hugged Naruto tighter, and went back to sleep. Naruto suddenly carried her, stood up, and threw her in the air and caught her. Hinata was wide awake and clung onto his arms. "That's what you get for not waking up." And putting her down, he went to the training ground to prepare for the battle with Tenten. "Let's go," Naruto said. "Oh, one of us will go after he gets his ass kicked, all right. Then show me your strength," Naruto said in a calm, cool manner. It was the first time Sakura was watching Naruto fight. He had a certain manner of calm, collective coolness about him. His hair flew in the breeze that came, and she sighed, staring at him, watching him do what he did second best. First was obviously eat ramen. She then saw his hand barely flicker, just barely, and she wondered what it could be. Tenten saw the calm figure in front of her, and she was fine with it. In fact, Tenten was merely an illusion. The real Tenten was setting up traps. Suddenly, she saw Naruto in front of her. "Illusions. Not too good, you know," he said. She stared at the figure in front of her, her rage growing. "We'll see then." Her traps had just been finished, and she was ready now. She rushed at him, only have him disappear. "Why is Naruto just standing there?" Sakura asked. It had been nearly a minute. "That's not Naruto-kun. His chakra signature is different." "Yes, that's a shadow clone." "I see," Sakura said. That was what the flicker of the hand was. Has he really gotten so fast in his jutsus? Sakura remembered her first test. Naruto would charge for about 10 seconds in an obvious pose and shout as loud as he could, "Shadow clone jutsu," letting everyone within a 1-mile radius what he was doing. Now, it was barely a flicker of the hand. She sighed again and stared at him. His features were good, handsome. The way his golden hair with red tips danced upon his face, going between his eyes now and again. His forehead protector was now half covered, yet, it suited him, that Sakura thought. It made him look cooler. Naruto's eyes radiated with kindness, and yet he could be serious when needed. His muscles were amazingly large and developed, but he could be as gentle as a baby when needed. He was all-encompassing in emotion, and now understood people perfectly. He could cheer up people, befriend people, and change people altogether. That was his special power, and she admired him for it. No wonder Hinata loves this guy. How could I not see it before? Suddenly, she snapped out of the daydream, realizing that she had been staring at Naruto. She felt disgusted at herself. Staring at Naruto. No way. That annoying, short little. And then it hit her. He was none of those things anymore. In fact, almost every girl in town was swooning over him. If Naruto like you, it was almost an honor now. She made up another excuse to convince herself not to like Naruto. He's taken. He loves Hinata. Besides, I love Sasuke. I always will. He appeared behind her, and punched, but she was prepared. After all, my trap is all-encompassing. Especially for jutsu users. Suddenly, he felt chakra charge into him. He realized it. It was electricity, and that meant only one thing. It was a famous trap, indignation. He thought as he was binded down with electricity. Kakashi had been watching. He chuckled. So, even Naruto fell for it, eh? However, this wasn't the same indignation trap she used on Hinata. No, she had gone easy on her, because Hinata was a friend. However, Naruto would not get any mercy. She had prepared all her traps for this, her trump card. In fact, she had expected Naruto to use him famous Kage Bunshin and confront her. That's where she set up her traps. If he used any jutsu within a 500-yard radius, the chakra kunais would locate it and go after him, and they were nearly indestructible. Thus, he was trapped there. If he moved, or used taijutsu, chakra drain traps were waiting for him. They would activate like a mine, when stepped on. Thus, his movement was restricted. In fact, she had memorized exactly where there weren't any traps, and the only area was where she was standing. And if he attacked with plain chakra, there would be chakra shockers, which used his own chakra to hurt him. The only way he could avoid this, would be to not come within a 100-yard radius of her. But, if he's still the same Naruto he was before, then he couldn't refuse. She had thought. Not only that, once Naruto was caught in one trap, they were set up so that it would automatically trigger the indignation. The best part was, all the traps only reacted to the chakra signatures, and shadow clones didn't have chakra signatures. That's why they used the user's chakra for all jutsus. Naruto was electrified. He lay on the ground, panting. Then, the indignation began, and Naruto knew this. But he was too tired to do anything. He couldn't dodge, as that would only offset more traps, but he had to do something. One hit of indignation, and he would be out. That much was certain. That's it. One hit. That's all I need. Suddenly, Naruto jumped, avoiding another chakra mine. Landing right next to Tenten, he took note of the kunais that were chasing him. He ran around some more, triggering shuriken, more kunais, and even attacks that were based on his own chakra. All of the attacks were following him as he went. Then, he ran after Tenten. Tenten ran away, but Naruto used chakra to catch up to her, triggering more traps along the way. Suddenly, he whooshed past her, all the attacks wanted to go to him, but Tenten took all the hits. Tenten couldn't move, she was paralyzed, and electrified. And as the traps hit, they triggered the indignation. Suddenly, his eyes turned golden. Using one hand, he yelled, OBLIDERATIONSABATOGE no jutsu. The beam D right there. Naruto carried an unconscious Tenten back to his teammates. Naruto's hands had almost everything broken in them, he had used up every last bit of chakra he had, and his body was completely beat up. They didn't say a word. Sakura immediately began working on Tenten, as Hinata did on Naruto. Sakura would have liked to work on Naruto, but she was the better medic, and Tenten was in worse condition. Besides, Naruto healed fast anyways. He didn't look too bad. Kakashi, meanwhile, ran for Shizune and Tsunade. When the three arrived, they were horrified. Shizune and Tsunade joined Sakura and began working. They had brought kits containing B and tools to help Tenten. After 2 hours, Naruto had been healed, and all he needed was rest. Meanwhile, Tenten was doing better. They had managed to fix her internal organs. By now, Sakura's chakra was completely exhausted, and Shizune and Tsunade were nearing their limit, too. Sakura passed out. They weren't worried, it was a simple feint from using too much chakra. They had completely fixed her internal organs and got her B supply back up when Shizune passed out, too. Then, Tsunade fixed her skin and finished the healing process. Tsunade lied down and rested while Hinata, who had plenty of chakra left, finished the final basic touches of Tenten's healing. All this took 4 hours, and they were all exhausted. Kakashi felt extremely guilty. Damn it, this is what I wanted to prevent. Although D wasn't too bad, they needed 3 of the best medical nins in the world to heal them. Jeez. Tsunade and Shizune left, leaving the 5 at the training grounds. Naruto was the first to wake up, feeling as good as new. Soon after, Sakura woke up, feeling great, too. They all huddled around Tenten in fear. They had done all they could, now all they could do was watch. None of them spoke a word. It was Naruto who had disrupted the silence. I'll take her to my place, he quietly said. Hinata lives there anyways, and she can take care of Tenten during the night. After all, we've done all we can. They all agreed. Naruto carried her gently to his house and set her down in his room. Meanwhile, he cleaned up the 3rd bedroom. After it was cleaned, he took somehow her things and moved them to his house. After all, she was going to stay for about 3 days, might as well be comfortable. Then, carrying her gently, he walked to the 2nd bedroom. Tenten woke to find herself being carried gently by Naruto. Naruto, she said tiredly. Tenten, he smiled. How are you feeling? He asked, putting her down on the bed. I'm all right. My body's completely stiff though. Naruto nodded. Good. That means you're healing. You'll be in tip-top shape in 2 days. We'll start when you're better. She smiled. Thank you, Naruto. For what? For saving me. I saw you there. Naruto chuckled. You don't need to thank me for that. Anyways, you're in my place. I've moved some of your stuff here cause you're going to be here for about 3 days, so make yourself comfortable. Hinata lives here, too, so we figured it would be best, as she could take care of you. My parents. Already told them. They've agreed. I couldn't get you to your house because it was at the other end of town, and I figured this is just temporary anyways, so it was fine. Tenten tried to nod, but she couldn't. He placed his arm on her shoulder. Don't try to move, then you won't be awake when Neji or your parents come. She had a curious look on her face. Come on, I know you love him. I asked him to check up on you. Your parents, well, they're your parents. Although it would be best if you rested, I felt they had a need to know. After all, you're not in critical condition. Thanks, Naruto. No problem. Just do me a favor, don't tell Tsunade I let visitors disturb you. She'd K me. He smiled and left. It was my trap. Why'd he risk himself to save me? I would have K him. Yet he blindly puts himself there to save me. Coming downstairs, he saw Hinata was cooking. She was in a white kimono laced with lavender, and had lavender earrings and a lavender necklace on. She had taken a shower and prepared herself. The dress completely suited her, and it matched her beautiful eyes perfectly. Naruto saw her and couldn't help it. She hadn't seen him yet, K. When they broke apart, he said, "You look beautiful." She blushed a little bit and K. Thanks. Hader, I get a K every time I say that. She s him and sent him off. Returning to her cooking, she decided to treat him with his favorite, ramen. Soon Neji and Tenten's parents came and visited her. Tenten's mother fell into his arms and cried. Thank you so much for saving my daughter. And she wept for a long while. Mom, it's okay, really, it was nothing. If it wasn't for you my little Tenten would have gone. Tsunade-sama told me the whole thing. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for me, Tenten kinda wouldn't have been in danger. Nevertheless, her parents thanked her profusely. Neji, too, walked with him outside and thanked him. Thank you for letting me see her. Nonsense. She loves you. It's the least I could do. She does. Whoops. Well, since I've already told you. Before she was going to D, or at least she thought she was going to D, she whispered, I love you, Neji. That's some pretty deep love, if you ask me. Neji nodded. Let me guess, you haven't told her your love, yet, have you? He shook his head, embarrassed. Well, what the hell are you waiting for? She loves you, you love her. End of story. Get the hell in there and tell her. But her parents. No buts. Get your ass in there. Why else did I call you over? Naruto shoved Neji inside Tenten's room and locked the door, saying, "I'm only letting you out when I hear the words, 'I love you, Tenten,' coming out of your mouth, Neji." Tenten's parents soon left, and Naruto heard K from Tenten's room. He unlocked the door, came in, and said to Neji, "All right, Romeo, that's enough, out. You're the one who convinced me to do this." Neji said, "Hey, you've K. Besides, if it were up to me, I'd lock you two in there. But I'm under strict orders from Hinata-sama. She bribed you with ramen, didn't she? Haven't been on a mission in a long time, eh, Naruto?" Sakura said. "Yup. I kinda miss it, you know. You're gonna be a bit rusty, then, aren't you?" "Yup. And AK." Neji sighed, giving up. Giving Tenten one last K, he said, "Goodbye, Tenten." She giggled, blushing heavily. "Bye, Neji." Naruto came down with successful news and was rewarded AK as well as his dinner. Hinata, meanwhile, fed Tenten. Afterwards, she ate. Then, she began writing. Naruto lied down, placing his head on her lap, and fell asleep. Every so often, she would play with Naruto's hair and K. Next morning, he found himself being awoken by Hinata. "Ha, what's up?" he sleepily said. "Shike, today's your big fight with Kakashi-sensei. Come on, you need your energy." He simply fell back asleep mumbling something. "Come on, even Tenten's awake. She's already ready. She wants to see your big fight. Let's go," Hinata said. Naruto didn't do anything. "Do I have to feed you breakfast?" "That would be nice," Naruto mumbled. "Great. Now there's two in the house I have to take care of. One's a dear friend, and one's a big fat baby who won't get up." He can't got up. Getting ready, they all made way to the training grounds. Tenten was carried by Naruto, having no other choice, and they all assembled there. "All right, Naruto, it's me and you. Let's go," Kakashi said, revealing his Sharingan. "Let's see if you deserve to win that tournament." Naruto nodded. In this fight, agility would mean almost nothing. Kakashi had the Sharingan, which would record every detail. But it doesn't mean he can react. Naruto took off his mental barriers. Now everything of his was better. Training under mental barriers increased his abilities when he was without any barriers. "Ah, that's right, Naruto, Tsunade-sama told me to tell you that you've become a Chunin, despite that you cost her $5,000. Kakashi interrupted. Naruto nodded. "Thank you." Sakura and Kakashi were thinking the exact same thing. Since when has become so cool-headed? Either way, the fight had begun. Chapter 11, Bloodline Limit Complete. Naruto started off with activating his bloodline limit. This was his last chance at getting it to full before facing Orochimaru, and he was going to make the most of it. Not caring at what the others thought, he activated it to the second level. It was glowing golden now, indicating that he would soon have it to the final level. He rushed at his sensei right after trading places with a shadow clone he made. His sensei immediately jumped over the shadow clone and went for Naruto. However, the shadow clone wasn't going to give up so easily. Energy beam no jutsu. A beam of blue energy ran after Kakashi. Kakashi jumped to dodge it, but the beam followed him. He was forced to. Charging chakra to both his hands, he yelled, "Raikiri." A golden Chidori appeared in both hands and, with much difficulty, it dissipated the beam. Naruto's shadow clone got him from behind, but Kakashi, too, puffed away. It had been Kakashi's shadow clone. Then, from behind, Kakashi came and got Naruto, but it had been Naruto's shadow clone. From then on they didn't fool around. They were using taijutsu incredibly fast. Sakura had seen Lee, who was much faster, but nevertheless, she could barely see them move. Suddenly from behind came Naruto, who kicked Kakashi in the head. But Kakashi flipped him and rammed him into the ground, only to find a shadow clone. He's faster than me at everything. I may be stronger, but he's faster at both jutsus and agility. Plus his shadow clones are equally as fast. This is bad. Looks like I'll have to use it, eh? Making his own shadow clones, Kakashi managed, with much of a loss, to isolate Naruto alone. Kakashi was all bruised everywhere, but he figured it was worth it. Suddenly, Naruto felt his sensei use a ton of chakra. Looking into Kakashi's eyes, his own eyes analyzed, Mengekyu Sharingan. Power 130. It consumes 3/4 of opponent's chakra. Then I can't dodge it. Naruto looked straight into his eyes, praying. He felt his world go red. Suddenly, everything turned out to be fine. True, he had tried to use his absolute defense and powered it to his eyes, but he thought it would have been in vain. Then he went into the other dimension again. What the hell just happened? Then Naruto realized it. By powering his chakra to his eyes, he had enhanced them. Thus, they had unlocked the third stage. Naruto smiled, through his pain of the jutsu. Now, he was ready to rock. The jutsu in itself was rather ineffective as Naruto, too, had a bloodline limit, and, thus, only 1/4 of the D would be dealt. Nevertheless, it was a damn lot of pain. Naruto grimaced as pain seared through his arm. Then, as soon as it came, it was over. Kakashi looked at Naruto. He's barely phased, though it did bruise him a little. What on earth is going on? And not only that, his eyes are back to normal. Naruto looked at his opponent. What the hell? Naruto thought. His eyes immediately analyzed. Kakashi, threat level 9. Attacks Reikiri, Mangekyo Sharingan, Tundra Lightning Smasher. His eyes were analyzing more than he had bargained for. Naruto inwardly grinned. Cool. So they can even do more. All right then. Suddenly, Reikiri, Water Clone Jutsu. And even Mangekyo Sharingan registered in his mind. It was the effect Jiraiya said. But could he use the Sharingan? Well, he would find out now. Recalling it, his eyes transformed and he used it back at Kakashi. Kakashi grimaced as the pain came. However, as he had the Sharingan and he had trained himself to withstand it ever since the incident with Itachi, he had become resistant to it, too. Naruto then realized he could use the Mangekyo, only it would take about twice the amount of chakra to use it. He felt a bit low on chakra. About 1/4 was gone. Luckily the Kyuubi was then merged with him, otherwise he would have been out by now. Interesting ability, Naruto. Thank you, sensei. And the fight continued. Suddenly, Kakashi stopped. Enough. I suggest we not hurt any more teammates or hurt me, as we need to go in 2 days. I have seen enough of your skills, and I will make plans for us. All right. All the students nodded, except for Tenten, who simply said, yes. Naruto, may I speak to you privately? Sensei, I would want to, but can you talk to Jiraiya-sama? He would explain it better than I. After all, Sensei only told me today, and I would not be able to satisfy your curiosity. Kakashi nodded. Very well. The truth was, Naruto was extremely excited himself, like a kid with a new toy. He practiced Reikiri and found the movements come to him naturally. He had truly mastered it. Then, there was the next part, the part about being able to analyze people. Why had I been able to do that? How was I able to do that? Why doesn't Jiraiya-sama know I could do that? Do the monks know? He plagued himself with questions and doubts. He quickly and curiously analyzed his friends. He truly wanted to see how they would do in his little test, and what his eyes would say. Sakura. Threat level 7. Jutsus. Medical Nin. Advanced Genjutsus. She probably only got so high because she's a medical nin, therefore making her more useful. In actual battle, she'd be lower on the scale. Naruto supposed. Tenten. Threat level 6. Jutsus. Cyclone Rectification. Various Traps. Indignation. Hinata. Threat level 5. Jutsus. Byakugan. Hack. Kaiten. Why does it always say, threat level? Can't it base itself on friendship and say strength or something? Why does it automatically go into battle mode? Strange. Immediately, the Hokage summoned him. Yeah mom. Naruto's curiosity soared. Tsunade. Threat level 12. Jutsus. Medical Nin. Summon. Demolition Jutsu. Yup. That explains it. Being a medical ninja ups your threat factor. I wonder what mine is. Unfortunately, no one else had his bloodline limit. Naruto, Jiraiya has told us about your bloodline limit. Naruto looked at Jiraiya. Jiraiya. Threat level 13. Jutsus. Summon. Rasengan. Annihilating Blast Fire Jutsu. Whoa. Go Jiraiya-sensei. Incredible. And he's not even a medical ninja. If he was he'd be like 16 or something. Now way. Unbelievable. Naruto remembered to nod. Kakashi had come up with plans, and you are to leave in 2 days, understood? Yes. Dismissed. For a mother, she didn't seem very motherly today. On the way out, Jiraiya came. Did you get the third part out? Naruto nodded. Jiraiya smiled. Good job. Now you'll do fine. Jiraiya turned to leave, but Naruto stopped him. Sensei. Yes. Are there any other powers to this thing? No. Why? Well, it's just that this thing has 3 stages to it. I just wanted to see if it might have had more, that's all. Thanks, Sensei. Jiraiya smiled. You wanted more, didn't you, you greedy little pig? Naruto pretended to smile sheepishly. Phew. Thank God he didn't catch on. See ya. And Naruto disappeared. Naruto went to his house to find all his friends there, too. Naruto. We need to talk, Sakura said. Yeah. What's up? Tenten could walk now. Her body had healed considerably. We feel you've been hiding things from us. Huh. Like what? Naruto was getting a bit tense now, but he didn't let it show. En Naruto-kun, your eyes were glowing. Hinata said. Hinata, your stutter is back. Answer the question, Naruto. Sakura growled. I wish I could, but you didn't ask any question. Yes, we did. Tenten joined in, too. Then what was it? We asked. All you said is we need to talk. I don't see the question. Well, we'll ask it now, then. Why the hell were your eyes glowing? Tenten shouted, her anger rising by the second. I dunno. Jutsu's side effect, I guess. You guess. Sakura was getting pissed. In all honesty, I don't know. But hell, it's really cool, right? Naruto, she growled. This distraction thing isn't working. I gotta do that thing, in the thing, Sarah, bye. He quickly used his bloodline limit to use the teleportation jutsu. It leaves no chakra trace whatsoever, and, more importantly, he could go anywhere he's already been to with it. Thank you, Scrolls. Only, now, the mission is going to be hell, Naruto. I feel hurt that you couldn't trust us. Sakura thought. Damn Naruto. How the hell are we supposed to be a team if he keeps hiding things from us? This mission is gonna suck like hell. Tenten seethed. Naruto. Hinata felt sad for him. She had used her Byakugan right before he went to see what he was doing, but the jutsu apparently left no trace. Now she couldn't follow him. Funny seeing you here. What the hell am I supposed to do, Kakashi-sensei? They're onto me. Luckily my eyes won't glow anymore, but dang it. Hell, I ain't gonna say anything, it's your bloodline limit. But you should probably tell them the truth. What am I supposed to say? Hi, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, I have the QB inside of me, which I've hid from you all for 16 years, I have a bloodline limit, and I'm stronger than all of you combined. Isn't that swell? I'll get a kick in the ass. I can't tell them. Damn it. Well, in any case, you should tell Hinata. She has a right to know. Plus, she'll probably help them accept it that you won't tell them. Yeah, Naruto. Yeah, are you really that strong? Sensei, take a joke. And he disappeared. Kakashi sighed. Man, I might lose my job because of you. Thank God. Jeez. Naruto puffed a lake outside Konoha. It was in the middle of the forest, and there were no people around whatsoever. He looked at the peaceful land around him. The water wasn't moving, and the air was cool. It was a perfect night to go outside for a stroll. There was full moon above the trees which provided plenty of light. A breeze against his face felt great, and closed his eyes enjoying the coolness. He lied down on the slightly damp grass and simply lay there with his eyes closed. Suddenly, he sensed a chakra signature. Opening his eyes, he saw it was Hinata. Great. Just damn perfect. She lied down next to him and placed her head on his chest. Can I lie down with you? She asked gently. You already have, he said, feeling annoyed. Naruto-kun, what's wrong? Nothing, Hina-chan. Nothing. Lies. I know you're troubled, and I don't need the Byakugan to see it. What's wrong? She asked. I just don't understand why the hell I am not allowed to have secrets. Everyone else can, but if my eyes glow once, it's the end of the world. Oh no. Naruto's eyes glowed. It's time for us to bug him until he damn gives us an answer. Why the hell? Hinata saw he was grumpy and decided to leave it at that. Taking out something from her pocket, she put it into Naruto's mouth. Frowning, Naruto tasted it and realized it was ramen. You forgot dinner. Thanks, he said, cooling down a bit. She fed him dinner, despite the fact that he had said multiple times that it was unnecessary. He didn't know what was wrong with him, maybe something was wrong with Hinata, but every time she would do something for him he would get happy. She knew just how to calm him down, she knew just what to do when he was in pain. Maybe something was wrong, but, hell, he didn't care. He fell into her devious trap which would supposedly cause him certain doom. He let her feed him. She would gently tuck the spoon into his mouth and take it out lovingly. He didn't know how she did it, but she did. Every time a bit would miss his mouth, she would take her finger and put her finger along with the ramen piece in his mouth. Eventually, Naruto cooled down completely by the end of dinner. He sighed. I have an advanced bloodline limit, he began. Hinata looked at him attentively with all her cuteness. He recited all that he knew about it. I just wanted some cool secret that I could keep to myself. Something which would give me an edge, just like the Hyugas have theirs, and the Uchihas, and Sakura-chan's the only medic of her level in almost the entire Konoha. Tenten's the only weapon master aside from her clan. I wanted something. And I got it. Then, all of a sudden, everyone wants to know. I just guess I acted really immaturely. I got a new toy, and I didn't want to share it until I was ready. I'm sorry, he said sighing. She hugged him. It's okay. Everyone has some bad days. Thanks, Hina-chan. If you don't mind, can we not tell them? Of course. Let's go back, Hina-chan. Sure. They went back, arm in arm, to Naruto's house. It was late, 1 o'clock, and Sakura had left, while Tenten was asleep. Naruto kissed Hinata good night and went to bed himself. Hinata and Tenten awoke to the delicious smell of something cooking. They both got ready immediately and came down. They were rather surprised to find Naruto up and making breakfast. Hey, guys, I wanted to say sorry, so, yeah. How is it? It's great, Tenten said. I love it, Naruto-kun, Hinata said. Naruto smiled nervously. Ah, thanks. Is it all right if I don't answer your question, Tenten? Tenten looked up for a minute, obviously thinking. After some thought, she said, isn't this the same recipe Jiraiya-sama once used? Tenten. Huh. Oh. What? Is it all right if I don't answer your question from yesterday? Oh, that's okay. Hinata explained everything. TSK, TSK, TSK. Getting your ass hupped by such a basic genjutsu from your own sensei. Shameful. Naruto caught on. Hinata, how could you tell? Hinata pretended to giggle. I'm sorry, but it was funny. He mouthed, thank you so much. To Hinata. She nodded and continued eating. Soon the news passed on to Sakura, too, and they continued the day shopping, talking, and spending time together. At the end of the day, they all packed their belongings and went to bed early. They got up at 6 o'clock and headed out to the north gate. Surprisingly, Kakashi was early. They all nodded silently. We'll get near the borders first and they will make plan. It's useless now, as we're safe in the fire country. They all nodded as they set off on the mission that would change their lives, and, Naruto hoped, Sasuke's as well. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.